Khanak, and today we will be reading a book that relates with my problem, and it's called Bark, George. In this book, there is a puppy named George who cannot bark, and he says other things. And let's find out at the end if he gets his voice back, not my voice back, and if I get my voice back too. So, I have a very funny incident that relates with this book. I have a very good friend of mine named Wid, and he's only 2 years old. He really knows how to talk a little bit, but not much. So he was running around in circles in his house, and he accidentally bumped into something, and instead of saying ouch or that hurts, guess what came out of his mouth? Quack, quack. And everybody started laughing, because he should have said ouch. And he said quack, quack. That's funny. So, let's start reading the book. Bark, George. George's mother said, so this is the mom as I can tell, because she has a pink collar. Bark, George. George went, meow. Oh my gosh! George went meow! I thought George was a dog, not a cat. No, George, said George's mother. Cats go meow, dogs go arf. Now bark, George. George went quack, quack. Oh my gosh, now George is speaking like a duck. That's funny. No, George, said George's mother. Dogs go quack, quack. Dogs go arf. Now bark, George. Oh my gosh, as you can see, the mom is getting really mad. Well, kind of frustrated. George went oink. Now he's speaking like a pig. Oh, wow, George, you're not a pig. No, George, said George's mother. Pigs go oink. Dogs go arf. Now bark, George. She's getting more mad because George won't bark. George went moo. Now he's speaking like a cow. Seriously? George's mother took George to a vet. Doctor of animals is called a vet, like our doctor is called a doctor. I'll soon get to the bottom of this, said the vet. Please bark, George. So, as you can see, the vet is putting on his glove, and the mom, she's so sad, right? Because his dog won't bark. I mean, her dog. George went, meow. Now he's speaking like a cat again. The vet reached deep down inside of George. So look, here he's putting his hand inside of George and pulled out a cat. Oh my gosh! George has eaten a cat. Look at the mom. She's freaked out. And look at the cat. She's like, what happened to me deep down there? Bark again, George. George went quack, quack. The vet reached deep, deep down inside of George. Now he's speaking like a duck. And here he is reaching deep, deep down inside of George. And pulled out a duck? What? George has eaten a duck now? Seriously, this silly George. And the mom is surprised. She's like, how did my little puppy George eat a duck? And look at the duck. It's going wild and crazy. The wet can't even control it. Bark again, George. George went, oink. Now he's speaking like a pig, seriously. The wet reached deep, deep, deep down inside of George. So here he is, reaching deep. And look at the bumps on his tummy. That's probably his hand going in. And pulled out a pig, a fat, big pig. Oh, wow, now George has eaten a pig too. And now look at the mother. She's like, okay, that's it. My dog has eaten a pig. Bark again, George. George went, moo. I think I know what is going to pop out of George. Well, let's see if you can guess. The wet put on his longest latex gloves. Because he needs to reach so deep down inside of George, that's why. And look at George, he's so scared. And look at the mom in this picture. She's closing her eyes because she's so scared too. Then he reached deep, 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 deep down inside of George. And pulled out a cow. What? Look at the mom. She has fainted. And look at the cow. And look at the wet. And look at George. Look at all the characters. And the cow, look at the cow. He's like, where am I? And look at the wet. He has fell down from his chair because the cow was too heavy. And George, look at his wide open mouth. I do not think I can eat that cow. And look at the mom. She has fainted. I'm so surprised. How could he eat a cow? Bark again, George, says the wet. Look at his glasses are ruined. And look at his hair. George went, arf! Finally, he barked. And look at both of the characters. They're so happy. Mostly the mom. He's so excited and happy and proud. Look at the wet. He's like, yes, I did it. They all are so happy. And in this picture, the mom is waiting very patiently. George's mother was so thrilled that she kissed the wet and the cat and the duck and the pig and the cow. So she's so happy. And look at the wet. He's like, okay. And the puppy is so happy that he finally barked. Oh my gosh, what is the cat doing? On the way home, she wanted to show George off to everyone on the street. So he said, bark. So she said, bark, George. And George went, can you guess? I think I know. Hello. Oh my gosh, now he ate a person? I know because he's speaking that language we speak. And he's supposed to bark. Okay, this was a very funny book. Bark, George. Bye.